Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
With the announcement trailer of Resident Evil Requiem, Capcom has provided some of the first hints about the story being told in the 9th mainline entry in the Resident Evil series. The trailer didn't include any of the series' familiar faces, but it did suggest that Requiem has ties with a lesser-known Resident Evil game from way back in the PlayStation 2 era. Outbreak was released in 2003 between Resident Evil 3 in 1999 and the franchise's semi-reboot with Resident Evil 4 in 2005, and shook up the series' formula up to that point. Instead of a single-player experience, Outbreak was Resident Evil's first major foray into online cooperative gameplay, with as many as 4 players fighting to survive the T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City that serves as the setting for Resident Evil 2 and 3. While Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine were fighting for their lives in places like the Raccoon City Police Department, Outbreak puts players elsewhere in the city.
No, it can't be. So many.
Outbreak follows a group of residents as they suddenly find themselves in the thick of things as Raccoon City is overrun by zombies and, well, other mutated monstrosities. There's also a big emphasis on teamwork, using character-specific traits and abilities alongside Resident Evil's survival horror elements, like limited inventory space, slow-moving characters, and largely fixed camera angles, to encourage players to work together to survive. Outbreak also introduced an insidious element to players' fight for survival. Characters are all infected with one of Umbrella's deadly monster-making viruses at the start of each of the game's levels. The infection rate in each character increases over time and ramps up even faster when they take damage, forcing players to search for antiviral items. If the virus overtakes a character, well, they transform into zombies themselves and attack their former allies. It's a little bit difficult to get a complete story picture from Outbreak or its sequel, Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, which featured the same cast of characters. The games each include a series of 5 scenarios, with players picking from the 8 possible survivors and trying to make their way through a level. But the scenarios aren't presented in chronological order, or even necessarily linked together as a coherent story. One scenario has characters drinking in Jay's bar in Raccoon City when the first zombies stumble in and starts biting people, for instance. While another scenario finds the survivors stumbling into an underground Umbrella lab, working through the Raccoon City Zoo filled with mutated animals, or making their way into the Arkley Mountains
Mic check.
to a hospital
Mic check.
overrun by
Mic check.
a giant murderous plant. But thanks to the trailer for
We
Resident
good?
Evil Requiem, we know that at least
We
some
good?
of
We
what
good?
takes place in Outbreak and File 2 is now canonical to the Resident Evil series, and important to the events of the
Please tell me we're good.
The
Are we
Requiem
good?
trailer begins by introducing FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft, a new character to the series, as she receives an assignment to investigate the Wrenwood Hotel. We quickly learn that Grace's mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, was murdered at the hotel 8 years earlier. Alyssa was one of the playable characters in the Outbreak games, and they give a little backstory about her that might inform what we see in Requiem. In Outbreak, Alyssa is a reporter, and you can find her bylines in the newspapers, the Daily Raccoon, and Comic News. She's
Alright, so we can hear me. You can also hear the live stream.
Because of the Umbrella Corporation's control and influence in Raccoon City, she hasn't always been able to publish pieces that could have exposed the company's wrongdoing. In the sequel, Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, there's an Alyssa-focused level that gives a greater sense of her work as a journalist, as well as the lengths Umbrella has gone to in order to cover up its crimes. The scenario, Flashback, finds Alyssa and the other survivors heading into a private hospital in the Arkley Mountains outside of the city. As she makes her way to the hospital, Alyssa keeps feeling like she's been to the place before as part of an article she was pursuing, but can't seem to remember the details. She later discovers, through flashbacks and files you uncover along the way, that she was right about that strange feeling. Years earlier, another journalist, Kurt, had become convinced doctors at the hospital were using umbrella drugs to conduct illegal experiments on the patients there, and Alyssa followed him as he went there in search of evidence. In the course of his investigation, Alyssa saw Kurt eaten alive by one of the virus-infected patients. Umbrella then used its massive influence with police and local officials to cover up the deaths at the hospital, including Kurt's. Alyssa eventually remembers what happened to her through the course of flashback, and uncovers the truth of the experiments, including one performed by the hospital administrator on his own terminally ill wife, which led her to seemingly transform into the carnivorous plant that infests the hospital. Over the years, the administrator has been leading people who wander into the woods to the hospital, killing them and feeding them to the plant. Alyssa and the other survivors defeat the administrator and destroy the plant. And with her memory somewhat restored, Alyssa vows to spread the word of Umbrella's wrongdoing and what happened to Kurt. Other scenarios in both games have the survivors eventually curing their viral infection and escaping Raccoon City before the US government destroys it with a missile to contain the outbreak. You can see the missile crater in the Resident Evil Requiem trailer. In File 2, each character gets an epilogue scene if they make it out, and Alyssa's scene suggests that, like Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, she made it her mission to blow the whistle on Umbrella.
Playing it safe may be best, but that's not what I call truly living. Fight for what you want. There's always going to be risks. You may get hurt in the end. But for me, I'd rather die having lived than live without knowing life. And taking the risks that come with life is the only way to truly know it.
Eventually, she did write an article all about the horror she learned in Raccoon City, but in the end, the story is mostly buried, thanks to the cover-up perpetrated by the US government to hide its involvement with Umbrella and what happened in Raccoon City. It's not clear if any of the other Outbreak characters canonically survived Raccoon City, as Alyssa is the only one who's been mentioned in other games. You can even find an article she wrote in Resident Evil 7 detailing the many disappearances in Dolby Parish, Louisiana, where the game takes place. And now with her mention in Resident Evil Requiem, we know that, in the years after Raccoon City, she raised a daughter, before she met her ultimate fate. Requiem's trailer suggests we'll learn more about Alyssa through Grace, as well as by heading to the hotel where she was murdered. The trailer also implies that Requiem might take place back to the ruins of Raccoon City, highlighting iconic locations like the Raccoon City Police Department. So while it's not clear now, it's possible other elements of Outbreak's story could also be relevant to what happens in Requiem, but we have to wait until its release in February to find out. Either way, it's cool to finally see the events of a less remembered Resident Evil game more or less canonized by the Resident Evil Requiem announcement. Furthermore, it appears that after detours in zombified Europe and the Deep South, Resident Evil is ready to head back to the city where it all began, Raccoon City. For more on Resident Evil, be sure to check out our hands-on preview of Capcom's 9th mainline Resident Evil game. For everything else, you're already in the right place with IGN.
Alright, looks like we're live.
Hello everyone, welcome to Capcom Spotlight. For today's show, we'll be covering updates to games that are out now, plus new info on upcoming titles. This includes behind-the-scenes info from our developers, so be sure to watch until the end.
Ho ho ho!
Now, let's take a look at today's first
Go! What comes after dreaming?
The future. It isn't just a dream.
Oh, this is
It's
what's
a
that?
promise.
That space movie.
One
I mean,
day
not space
turning
movie, but
into
space game.
Reality.
Pragmata.
With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI,
I don't
we are
know.
reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation. Let's see if they're getting passed through to Earth. And what are these things trying to kill us?
There you are.
Yep, there you are.
Better.
I see you. Trying to figure out why your camera is so out of sync right now. Let me see if I can fix it.
No, I just got home.
Whoa, hang on a second.
Can you hear
Do you
me?
have a name or something?
I just got home.
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Hey, D.I.
I said I am D.
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Can you see my display? Or you may have to go on
Capcom's
YouTube
newest
and
IP, Pragmata.
Yeah, I just got home.
All new science fiction.
Nah, I can't hear you at all, man.
Unique hacking
I
twist.
just got home.
It's been a while since we first announced it, but we're excited to have the game ready for you in 2026.
yeah, you may have to turn your camera
We'll
long
go over
ways.
some of the unique points of Pragmata.
All right, that's better.
Encountering an
Yeah, I
android
just got
is
home.
all
That's why.
You play as Hugh Williams, a member of a team sent to investigate a lunar research facility that's lost contact.
Yeah, can't hear you, man.
Strikes. Hugh is separated from the team.
Can you hear me?
He finds himself saved by Diana, an android girl.
There you are. All better.
He said it was.
Now
He
they
said
must
it was
work
zip it
together
model.
to return to Earth. Hugh.
He says,
a
I
bit
really wish they
sarcastic, but a kind soul.
never got rid of Galkin
And
from
Diana,
Street Fighter.
a curious and
He's
enigmatic
probably gonna come
android.
back. He's gonna come back.
This is how an unlikely adventure
Yeah, as a
between
DLC.
human and android begins. A mix of puzzle
He said
and
this dude
action.
come on live with the tie on, putting you
In
the same
Pragmata,
pat. Yep.
Combat begins with disarming the enemy's armor. Otherwise, you will find it difficult to inflict any real damage. This is where Diana comes in.
Oh, you can hear the both of us? Oh, I can't hear him on my side. So as long as you can hear him, then we should be okay.
The cursor through the panel. You take down their armor. And now, it's Hugh's turn. Take aim at the enemy's weak points. Passing through more blue nodes increases damage.
I don't see
and the enemy's
myself
armor
picking up
stays
this game.
exposed for longer. With an arsenal of unique weapons, take on the rampaging bots.
So I'm gonna leave this one
What
alone.
enemy will you hack first? What weapon will you use? Thinking on the fly in the heat of combat, and how you handle the multi-sided situation will be key for success. We can't wait for you to try this compelling new
All right,
combat
welcome
system.
home, Jose. How's work, man?
The AI-controlled Lunar Research Station. In Pragmata, your adventures take place at a lunar research station.
Yeah, it's hot out there,
Researching a
dude.
new
I'm
material
surprised
that
you
can
made
be
it home.
used to 3D print almost anything, from microchips to cars.
So do you have your camera, turned long ways, like
Now,
like
however,
this or like this,
The Lunar Research Station seems void of
Long
human
ways.
activity.
like this?
Only the lifeless world and the
All right,
AI remain.
because on the stream it's like
Use your
this,
thrusters to move around
but
the
if you
Lunar
turn it like
Research Station.
this, your camera comes in
You will also
okay.
need to hack the systems blocking your progress.
Is that good? Is that good for you, or do you?
Combining their abilities, you and Diana can explore this world together.
Look, I didn't even know this was happening today.
Pragmata will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Steam. This summer, we'll also have public hands-on for Pragmata. Experience the gameplay you just saw firsthand, including the thrilling combination of puzzle and action combat. We are looking forward to many more events where you can get your hands on Pragmata. Please look out for more information on Pragmata on our official social channels, website, and stores. And don't forget to follow and to add Pragmata to your wish list. Check out the latest trailer for Sagat.
Yeah, I think Galkin is gonna be a DLC, man. They're coming out with new old characters. So I think we're gonna get Galkin later, probably. We'll see. I know that's your guy, Thinker. But do you even play Street Fighter? Jose, which theme park do you work at? Is it Magic Kingdom? Yeah, I did watch the trailer for that. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna go see that. I think I'll wait till the reviews come out. But if you happen to go see it, let me know. And plus, you know, we'll meet up anyway, and we'll chit chat about it if you go see it.
Hey, come on, let's go! Wait for me!
All right, so today you got the burger with cheese. So Jose is here, so he's the cheese. He is here. I didn't think you was gonna be able to show up because you know you're working today, and normally you get off at 6, right? You know, some of the favorite characters that we play with in, you know, the old Street Fighter games, this DLC, man. I'm like, come on, it's a guy. He should have been one of the main characters in the game. I don't understand why they do it like this. And it's almost like you're not gonna really change him that much as far as his moves. You probably give him a few new moves and etc. But
The Emperor of Muay Thai, Sagat, is ready for battle. Players can also get the World Tour experience.
He said you guys need a sign language interpreter. Is it in the budget?
The Emperor makes his landing on August 5th.
No, sometimes it's the connection here on the actual stream.
Release. The
When I,
Arrives
you
Fighting
know,
Pass will be available starting from July 4th.
When I get Jose on the screen, sometimes he can hear me, and sometimes I can hear him.
Wanderer avatar gear.
It's just a matter
Also
of,
prepared some throwback stickers
you know,
and
closing
emotes.
the live stream and then reopen it, and then
Sagat's
sometimes
days
we'll
as
get
the
each
boss of
other.
The original Street Fighter.
I don't know.
We're
I don't know
also
why.
increasing the amount of content in the Fighting Pass that can be used in Fighting Ground.
Don't expect me to be a pushover.
Views EX Color. Ken's EX Color.
You know they're showing Resident Evil last. So I know Street Fighter is not you guys' game. Well, not your game.
The game's Challenger customization feature. We're also prepping music tracks to use in fights and more for players. Please check it out. Finally, we have information about the...
Nah, it's not in the budget, man. We're gonna have to do our own sign language. Nope.
Check out the designs of the 7 characters that will receive Outfit 4 content with the Sagat update. Cammy.
He says, hire that fake interpreter that got busted for Tampa police. Look it up, it's hilarious. Oh, snap.
Jamie.
I'll check it out.
Kimberly. And Aki. we're continuing work on Outfit 4 content for these characters. And of course, are working on Outfit 4 for the rest of the roster. So please stay tuned.
Man, I gotta say the sex appeal for
本日の情報は以上となります
these
が、い
characters
かがだった
for
で
the
しょうか。
lady characters.
今回ご紹介
Just
したキャラクターやファイティングパ
just
スなどに
crazy.
ついて皆様にお届けできるよう開発チーム一丸となって最終調整に取り組んでおります。後日サガットのゲームプレイトレーラーの公開も予定しておりますので、
Hey, Thinker, did you hear about the new Street Fighter movie that's coming out?
これからもストリートファイター
Oh, that
6
they're
をどう
working
ぞ
on?
よろしくお願いします。
Also, I believe Mortal Kombat 2
An
comes out
update
this year
from
too.
Capcom Esports. We'd like to tell you about the Capcom Pro Tour, a global competition for the world's best players. Players the world
He
over
says, "How long is
battle
this?
it
You
out
need a
in
shower?"
regional qualifying tournaments. The Capcom Pro Tour 2025 Singles Tournament Tour is now accepting entries. Anyone is welcome to join.
I don't know how long this spotlight is gonna be, man. But if you have to take off, man, take off.
The world champion.
Take care of business.
Just like last year.
I know the games that they're gonna be showing here is probably not up your alley anyway. Just thought maybe you wanted to join.
Will once again
If not, you gotta take off. Go ahead and take off.
You won't want to miss
Keep you
out on the
updated.
intense battles this year as players fight to become world champion. For more information about the tournament schedule and how to enter, check the Capcom Esports website.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
acclaimed new
I don't know.
action and strategy
I don't know, man. I haven't really played Street Fighter in a while.
as released on the Nintendo Switch 2.
I mean, Street Fighter is. Oh, you about to head out?
Japanese-inspired world.
All right, man. Take care of yourselves. Get yourself something to eat. Get freshened up. I'll be here if you want to join.
And fight alongside
All right, man.
villagers as you
Take
enjoy
care.
this unique game experience. You can also use the new features of the Switch 2 and play using mouse controls.
But as far as Street Fighter goes, it's just
Have fun playing with
the appeal
controls
of
you
it
want.
that makes people want to buy the game. Well, I
Compatible
can't
with
speak for
handheld
other
mode.
people, but
You can enjoy the game anytime.
it's not one of those games that you can just sit and play unless you're a die-hard Street Fighter fan. To me, it's not one of those games that
Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, is available now.
I'll sit and play every day. It's just not it.
Also, the action and strategy is further enhanced with the new
Because eventually
extra
I'll
content,
get tired of playing it.
Otherworldly venture,
Like,
added to
let me
all
move on to
available
something else.
platforms.
He said,
In the
thanks for
underworld,
the heat
beyond
needs
the
more than a
Torii
shower.
gates,
You need an X.
Protect the maiden from nightly attacks of the sea.
Oh, man. All right. Check the
As you earn
text.
rewards by outlasting each wave of enemies. On an ever-changing battlefield, determine who will fight and win, and how to best use your rewards. Aim for a high score amid infinite strategies in this challenging and satisfying gameplay mode. How long will you be able to defend the maiden from the seed in the other world? Following its initial release on July 19th last year, Kunitsugami.
I mean, how did she even get caught? Like,
next month.
did someone like tune in and say, "Yo,
We have prepared a
You
small
know,
token of our
she's not
appreciation
doing
for
the
the
correct
fans
sign
who have
language?"
Played the game.
Because I can't even tell. I'm looking at the video and I wouldn't even know.
Presenting Yashichi Waves, a Mazo talisman that changes some music in the main game to 8-bit
All right, if you're just tuning in, hey, Jose had to take off. He had to just got off work, so it's just 1.5 for the duo here. For today, I'm hosting the show. So we're gonna check out this Capcom Spotlight. Don't
This
really
can be
care about
obtained
what
in
they're
a free
showing
update
right now.
available at a later date
So-
to both new and existing players. Please look forward to the update coming soon.
We're gonna wait to the end.
Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, is available now on all shown platforms. Try the game's unique experience for yourself now. Next, please take a look at today's lineup of Capcom titles. 8 action and fighting games make their returns, including the legendary Capcom vs. SNK series.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy training mode and a gallery featuring sounds and artwork, as well as easy-to-use one-button specials. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is available now. Reclaim your destiny.
Onimusha.
A remaster from the swordplay action series Onimusha.
Onimusha.
A memorable cast of characters returns to weave their deep and complex tale anew. Experience the classic graphics and gameplay refined for modern consoles. The remaster of Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny is available now. Onimusha Way of the Sword. The next entry in the swordplay action game series is coming in 2026.
Hey, Baker, you gonna be picking this game up?
Early Edo period Kyoto. The protagonist, Miyamoto Musashi, will
This
face
is a day one for me, man.
his formidable rival, Sasaki Ganryu. How will the clash between them unfold? Stay tuned for more.
Let's go, man. It's been so long. It's been too long. I am so happy.
Capcom
So
Digital
excited.
Sale is here. Monster Hunter Wilds is on sale for the first time. Experience the most evolved action and improved immersion in any Monster Hunter to date. Also, make sure to check out other Monster Hunter games. In celebration of the horror series' latest thrilling news, Resident Evil games are on sale at great prices. But that's not all. Dragon's Dogma 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Oh yeah.
Ace
With
Attorney
the new
titles
house,
and
my
more are
backlog.
on
It's gonna
sale
be,
too.
dude. Yes.
Don't miss out on this great chance to pick up these
Yes.
must-play
You gotta
hit
catch
games.
up, man. Whenever you can.
From the creators of the latest Resident Evil.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's give us some gameplay. Give us some snapshots. Give us some backstory on this one.
開発のコンセプトは病みつきになる恐怖というのを掲げてます恐怖を乗り越えるね気持ちよさそこのカタルシスってやっぱこう脳汁が出るんですよね、それ自体がこれもっとやりたい遊びたいっていう中毒性をそこに徹底的にフォーカスしてみたら怖いけどゲームとしても楽しいそういうのが作れるんじゃないかなっていうのが
He said still on Indiana Jones. I still haven't played the game
バイ
yet.
オハザードレクイエムは、シングル
Oh, it's an offline single player
ゲー
game.
ムとなり
Oh,
ます
wow.
バイオハザード
They
で
made
一
that
番重
clear.
要なのは恐怖体験だと思うんですけれども、今作において
You
は
do not have to be online to play this game.
しっかりと
Good.
フィーチャーした内容に仕上がっているんじゃないかなと思ってます
Still haven't cracked 33. I haven't even started it. I have it.
FBI 捜査官グレイス・アッシュクロフト内向的で怖がりバイオハザードとしては割と新しいタイプのキャラクターを作ろうとしていますプレイヤーと同じ目線で一緒になって怖がれるこういうキャラクターを狙っています物語の中でもちろん彼女も恐怖を克服し成長していくんですけども FBI 捜査官なので銃の扱いも慣れてますし冷静な推理力とかも発揮しつつ活躍するキャラクターになってますレオンを主人公にしようっていうのは実はずっとあったんです
Oh, Leon is in the game.
ただバッチバチのホラーっていうのが割と難しくて落ちてきたバキ
Leon is in the game. It's been confirmed.
そういうレオンってそんなみんな見たくないやろっていうところでじゃあホラーと食い合わせ悪いよなっていうのがやっぱりありましたけど
Wow. It's confirmed.
ファーストトレーラーご覧になって分かるようにグレース自身がまあすごいいろんな目に遭うんですね PV で断片的には入ってるんですけれども逆さずり一つとっても顔の赤らみ高揚感であったりとかうっ血してる表現
Yeah, but we're not playing. We're not playing that. We're gonna play the game. The game. Does she look like this in the game
肩を読ん
play?
で実際にウィッグを使ってそこからシミュレーションして CG を落とし込んだりとかもしています
バイオハザードレクイエムはですね、一人称視点と三人称視点2つの視点で
Okay,
自由に
both
切り
first
替えな
and
がら
third person
遊ぶことがで
perspectives.
きます。
How?
主観視点だとその恐怖を
Can you
間
just
近
do
に
it by
感
the
じる
click
こ
of a
とができ
button?
て、緊張感のある臨場感のある、ゲームプレイっていうのが可能になります。三人称視点だとキャラクターの肩越しでの視点というところでアクション、そういったところがよく見えるゲームプレイになると思いますので、アクションが好きだなって思う方には、三人称視点の方がおすすめです。
滅菌作戦以降30年近く経つんですけども、
Okay.
ゲームの舞台として登場します。
その当時アンブレラ事件っていうのでシリーズがヒットして、それ以降もさまざまなキャラクターたちが、いろんなラクーンシティで起きた事件をきっかけに立ち向かっていくようになったり、人間成長したり、そこに今回この表現のメスを入れるっていうのが作り手としてはやっぱりかなり緊張感を持って臨ませてもらったっていうのが。
Oh yeah, man, you got Metal Gear
ラクーン
coming.
事件に
Dude.
関わったもしくはラクーン事件に
I have a feeling I'm gonna walk into the office and you're gonna be looking sad,
命を落として
and I'm gonna ask you what's going
そういった
on,
登場人物がたくさん出ます。
and you're not gonna tell me the truth.
彼らに向けての
But the real truth is, you're gonna be like, man, I haven't been able to play video
バイオ
games.
ハザードシリーズ、ラクーン事件、アンブレラをきっかけに生まれたシリーズのある種
I still gotta finish Indiana Jones,
レクイエムというタイトルをつけて
33, Metal Gear,
バイオハザードレクイエムは2026年2月27日
Only
に発売予
Musha.
定です。
Well, Only Musha does come out the
2026年
next
3
year,
月にバイ
but
オハザード
still.
シリーズ30周年を迎えます。30周年記念タイトルの名に恥じぬようなゲームとして
You're like, I got so many
リ
games.
リースしたいなというふうに思っております。
I can't even put my TVs up.
グレイスの母親は
大きく方針を転換してですね、
実写映画を目指すというところで、
Oh,
Further interviews with the creators that didn't fit into today's presentation will be released today on the Resident Evil portal.
why?
Register your Capcom ID to see the rest.
ラクーン
Oh,
シティっていう
that's
ところ
it?
は
Don't
結構触っちゃ
no.
いけないもんだと。
I'm release footage available now on the portal.
Get ready,
Are you
hunters.
serious?
The guild has authorized a new Monster Hunter
Oh
showcase
man. You know, I would say it's unless they have something else to show in regard to Resident Evil, I think it's pointless to watch the
おかげ
rest
さ
of
まで
this.
多くのハンターの
I
皆
don't
様
care
に楽し
nothing
んでいた
about
だいており
Monster
ま
Hunter
す。
Wilds.
本当にありがとうございます。今日はタイトルアップデート第2弾の情報をディレクターたちと一緒にご紹介したいと思います。
I do have access to the RE portal,
は
so
い、モンスターハンターワイルズアートディレクター藤岡要です。お願いします。はい、モンスターハンターワイルズディレクターの徳田です。よろしくお願いします。
はい、それでは早速ですが無料タイトルアップデート第2弾のプロモーション映像をご覧ください。どうぞ。
I just don't see anything interesting about this game. He says exactly. Yeah, these advertisements coming in.
You don't get views like this sitting around back at base camp.
That is true. Yeah, chocobo?
はい、というわけでいよいよ皆様にラギアクルスのお話ができる日がやってまいりましたと。これ本当にグローバルいろんなところに行っても本当にラギア人気がすごくってすごい期待されて
すごい
今回ようやく皆様に、登場させることをお知らせできたと。実はモンスターハンタートライっていうタイトルからラギアクルスっていうのが出てるんですけど、そこはちょっとラギアクルスの開発秘話的なところ、
モンスターハンタートライを立ち上げましょうってなって、売りになる遊びとかを水中戦とかも作ろうみたいなのがあって、でその水中をよりちゃんと面白くするには
I wonder if a lot of people actually play this
っていうのもあって、でもともとレウスのライバルみたいな立ち位置をちゃんと作ろうみたいな、いろんな精鋭を集めてラギアチームみたいなの作ってね。
その時にモンスターの担当してた
Capcom really
そうですね、
invested in this
藤
game
尾さん
a
がディレ
lot.
クターで、僕が初
So it'd
め
be
てその
interesting to see
最
what
初
the
から
numbers
企画の
are.
立ち上げから調整してリリースするところまで担当させてもらったメインモンスターというところで、チームラギアですね、みんなが日々より良いモンスターにするために意見とかアイデアっていうのをぶつけ合いながら、より良いモンスターにして
Yeah, it doesn't strike me
振り返って
as
みるとクリエイターとしてもすごい
you know, one of those games that I
過ごさせてもらったなみたい
get
な
into
モ
or
ンスターですね。
whoever gonna
ワイ
play.
ルズの
Like,
こだわりっていうのをちょっと皆さんにも
I don't know. It's just
今回は水中ちょっとアクセント的なイベント的な
I guess it's enough people playing it
地上でも
for them to
やり取りしてい
continue
ただくような
to
設計
do
に
what they
変え
do.
ました
So
ので、昨今のその、プレイヤーのアクションできる幅っていうのも広がりながらそこに対応しつつ、しかもそのラギアクルスらしさみたいなものを
It
残したア
strikes
クシ
me as
ョン
like
設計にする
a
とい
it
うこ
looks
とが
like a
一つ
Nintendo title.
こだわったところです。ラギアクルスってトライの時からそうだったんですけど、水中でのこのシルエット、縦に伸びた時の
If you look in the background, you notice I took down the sign.
っていうのをぜひ感じていただきたいというところがありましたので、武器を完全に振ることは自由に振ることはできないんですけれども、ちょっとイベント的な水中のアクションっていうのも今回、なんとか実装することができましたので、そこも含めて楽しんでいただけるようなモンスターに、仕上がったんじゃないかなと思います。
もちろんラギアクルスが出てくるというところで、討伐して素材とか、入手してもらったらもちろん武器とか防具が作れるっていうところは当然あると思うんですけどそこら辺なんかあります？
久しぶりにこうやって出てくるので、全ての人がね楽しんでもらいたいので、操縦コンとかも、ちょっとなかったのを出して
You know what? That's my bad.
全種揃えさせてもらってます。僕たち思い出強いモンスターのことも今のスタッフたちも本当に分かってくれてますし、本当に一生懸命取り組んでくれましたね。なかなか面白い仕上がりになってると思います。チェックするときに担当じゃない子たちとも見に来たりとかするぐらいBGM とかもすごく
そうね、ぜひ遊んでいただいてね、その辺はね、注目していただけたらと思っております。はい、そしてなんとセルレギオスが今回登場しますということで、セルレギオスはもともとモンスターハンター 4G というタイトルから登場しているタイトルで、モンスターハンター4の無印が実は海外版出てなくって 4G から出てるので、海外の人も結構セルレギオス馴染みある人も多いんじゃないかなとは思うんですけど、ちょっと今回のセルレギオスどんな感じになってるかってちょっと説明を軽くでもしてもらったり。
もともとセルレギオスは結構旋回能力高くて、レウスと違ってちょっと小回りの利く感じとスピーディーなやり取りみたいなのがもともとのコンセプトにあったんで、そのあたりちょっと今回なんですね。モンスターハンター 4G の時も僕がメインプランナーとして
just make a new channel and call it JK/G
最後のモンスターなんですけど、僕足の攻撃と
GNR and JMP Alphabet Soup Pod.
後ろから回し切りを使って仕留めてくるような。
Oh man, now that's creative.
ここが提案してくれた面白かったのが斜めのキックしながら。
You know what? It'd be funny that sticks. You know, you got JK. Yo, that would just confuse everybody. But it may just work.
そこの特徴すごく面白いモンスターだなと思ってました。
They were like, which one are you, yo? Like, hey, thank you for tuning in, man. We are the JKG and our JMP podcast.
機能してくれてるんじゃないかなというふうに思います。今ご紹介しましたラギアクルスとセルレギオスは、いずれも星8の、歴戦の個体として、フィールドに登場するようになります。かなりこう強力なモンスターになってはおりますので、腕に自信のある方はぜひチャレンジしてみてください。
For the second Arch-Tempered monster, we'll have Arch-Tempered Uthduna appear for a limited time. You'll be able to forge the new armor sets, Uthduna Gamma, and
I've
Feline
never played this game.
Uthduna Gamma.
I don't get it.
Arch-Tempered Uthduna will arrive in the future as an event quest and free challenge quest.
I'll do some research and find out what's so special about this game.
Crafting the final weapon in a tree allows you to use that weapon as layered equipment. For Artian weapons, you'll get it after fully reinforcing the Rarity 8 weapon. For Palico weapons, you'll need to forge high-rank weapons. We're adding brightness settings and filter effects to photo mode. And in the character display tab, you'll be able to hide your handler, Palico, Sacred, and more. We're planning on continuing to update photo mode to make it easier to use.
To make it easier to use?
We've added the ability to swap handlers. You'll now be able to travel with Eric instead of Alma. As for support hunters, Mina, a hunter from Vespia unit who wields a sword and shield, will be added. You'll also now be able to select which support hunters participate in quests. Furthermore, by playing with content added in the update, you'll be able to obtain a myriad of rewards.
I'm gonna make a whole bunch of new breaking news.
Event quests that allow you to forge special equipment.
Did you use a generator
make it easier to
create that meme?
Spheres and decorations.
Like a meme generator or something? For the ones you sent me earlier today?
And a free challenge quest featuring Arch-Tempered Uthduna will be available for a limited time.
Oh, okay.
はい、ここでコラボジェスチャー
That was pretty good, dude. I thought that was actually from. I was so gullible. I thought that was actually from Fox News. I'm like, how did? I mean, that was better than some of the emails that we get from the actual the phishing emails. I couldn't even tell the difference. I was like, yo, this made it to Fox News? Oh man, I'm advertising Fox News.
今回のコラボが決まった時から結構チームもねノリノリでいろいろやってくれていろいろな今回こだわりがあるんですけどちょっといくつか紹介してもらえますね。
ギターはそのまままず 3D スキャンを、自社で撮れるのがあるので、そのままの形がゲームに出せるようにして使用感とかそういうのもちょっとデザイナーのこだわりの部分で足してあげたりとかして、実際のこうちょっと使用感のあるような、ところまでこだわって再現してますと。音自体も実際のサウンドチームの人が演奏してくれてその音そのまま使ってるんですけど、アニメとかもそのキャプチャー撮る時も、サウンドのその演奏者の方にちゃんと指の動きを習ってコードが間違ってないかとか、チェックしてもらいながら全部。
Alright, so I think a lot of people were only tuning in to see what was going on with Requiem.
いいですね。
You may have some Monster Hunter fans
キャプ
out
チャー撮っ
there,
てた
Street Fighter
ああいうのも
fans.
めっちゃ踊ってたじゃないですか
That's
あれも実際
A-okay,
に
but
ジェスチャーしたらああいう音前でもあれがやってくれると思うんで
エアギ
すよね
ターみたいなのをビーンってやって入って一緒にうわーって
めっちゃ弾けてたね
もう全然関係なくわーって音もらしい
まあそういうのをぜひ見てほしいですね
楽しくみんなで楽しんでもらえたらなと思います。
はい、今ぜひジェスチャーやっていただけたらと思います。
はい。
There will be a range of DLC with this title update as well. There will be 4 kinds of dance gestures as free DLC.
Really?
And a cosmetic DLC Pack 2 as paid DLC. Those with the Premium Deluxe Edition or the Cosmetic DLC Pass will automatically obtain it. There will also be other DLC not included in packs. In the summer, there will be a seasonal event called Festival of Accord Flame Fate. During seasonal events, the decorations and meals at the Grand Hub will change. And by playing during the event, you will be able to get limited time only equipment, gestures, pop-up camp decorations, and more. Festival of Accord Flame Fate will begin July 23rd. Let's make this summer a hot one to remember.
Oh man.
ここからは今後のスケジュールについておさらいいたします。無料タイトルアップデート第2弾はご覧の日程で配信予定です。追加モンスターラギアクルス、セルレリオスが登場します。また武器の重ね着装備などシステム追加を予定しています。夏の季節イベント交わりの祭事踊りの儀を開催します。イベントクエストにて
Maybe I get some traction.
ウズトゥナが登場します。
I'm gonna see if I can get
スペシャル
sponsored
コラ
by
ボの
Street
ジェスチャー
Fighter.
が入手できるイベントクエストを期間限定で配信します。はい、今ご紹介、いろいろさせてもらいましたが、他にも細かい調整とか入ってるところもあるんですよね。
はい。タイトルアップデート第2弾では、ハンマーの調整として新しく、ハンマー総裁成功した後に追撃するモーションというのを追加しています。その他もですね、遊びやすくなる調整っていうのを、各種進めておりますので、詳細はディレクターレターやパッチノートの方をご確認いただければと思います。
Please tell me this is the end.
番組をご覧いただきありがとうございました。
Thank you. ありがとうございます。
タイトルアップデート第2弾の詳しい情報は、
はい
公式サイトや SNS をご覧ください。タイトルアップデート第3弾は秋頃に配信予定です。
どうぞ。
追って皆様に情報をお届けする予定ですのでお待ちいただければと思います。本日はこれにて以上となります。
じゃあね、バイバイ。
最後は、いつもの掛け声で、終わろうと思っております。
さよなら。
はい、いきますよ。せーの。ひとかり行こうぜ。
That does it for today's presentation.
What?
Thank you for watching. Before you go, we'll be holding a survey about today's show.
No, this is not it.
Viewers of this broadcast are invited to take part on the Capcom Spot.
This was not it.
Welcome to IGN Summer of Gaming. We just wrapped the Capcom Spotlight, and we're going to break it all down for you. I'm Nick Lamone, joined by John.
I don't understand why they didn't have Resident Evil at
Let's
the
talk
end.
about the biggest announcement.
They didn't show much of it.
Spotlight. Let's jump into Resident
Yeah,
Evil Requiem,
yeah.
not RE9, Requiem, Resident Evil Requiem, also known as Resident Evil 9.
It's baked in.
Make your mind
up,
So yeah, we got a look at the game, and I think for the longest time people were speculating that there's going to be a dual protagonist in Resident Evil Requiem.
It is.
And they straight up confronted that heads on, saying,
Leon Kennedy.
We thought about putting Leon in this game, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense to put him in here since this is a horror-centric game. John, how do we feel about this being more going back to what we saw with
wasn't it confirmed that he's in here?
Straight up horror.
I think it's good. I think maybe Silent Hill's keeping them on their toes now. I think we're going back to something that definitely looks like it's going to be a little.
I could have sworn they confirmed Leon was in this game.
A little more kind of ponderous and going back. I mean, they're talking about going back to something like really tapping into the horror. I mean, it seems obvious them stating that horror has always been a part of Resident Evil, but I think really kind of tapping into that, and it definitely looks like they're playing with lighting and making it feel kind of like spooky rather than just sort of like throwing monsters at you. So I think it looks like they're actually looking to completely reboot the franchise, frankly. I mean, that seemed to be what they were intimating, is that they're skipping forward in time. They're
30 years later.
30 years later, they're kind of brushing a lot of they're kind of putting a lot of the history of the franchise behind them so that they can start fresh, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I mean, when we first saw this during Summer Games Fest, we saw visions of a bombed-out Raccoon City, which is not something we've typically seen in a lot of the more modern Resident Evil games. So, Matt, you've actually got.
And you see, they only pretty much they went straight to RE.
How does it stack up to what you've seen?
I don't think the other games do. They're probably going to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, as we see
that's
now,
not
there's a clip of her reloading a gun. So the part that I played had
those games are not even really.
But for the most
in the
part,
spotlight,
everything that I saw today was fairly close to what I played. So I got a 30-minute hands-on. I was able to try out both the first-person and third-person mode, which is you can switch.
Oh, lucky you!
Menu. But everything they're saying about the horror or like focusing on the horror is absolutely true from what I played. Like it was definitely like a slow pace, sort of like.
So I guess they're not gonna put Leon. I thought he was.
And the things.
I thought he was confirmed for the game.
Like scary bright, all at a flicker, and you don't know what's gonna happen.
Maybe I misunderstood it.
And Grace also.
I'll figure it out here
How
a
Grace
little bit.
Is a sort of like an inexperienced sort of heroine who is not like a Leon. She does get scared.
She's a data analyst.
She's a data analyst. She can't do roundhouse kicks, right? And
yet,
right? You learn on the job. But you definitely get that.
Devil May Cry, yes.
You get a lot of feedback.
We need
from her.
a new one.
Of, like,
I think it's time.
Her going,
to be honest with you, I don't even know.
In real time, and you definitely
I mean, where would they take it?
Which I really appreciated. I really liked, and one thing I feel
does
like
it even really matter?
I got the sense from is that Capcom really likes this character. I think they.
Why is she walking like that? It's like she's walking like.
That they kind of want to focus on her. So I'm kind of glad that they sort of addressed the Leon rumors, but said no, this is Grace, this is our new protagonist, because it really shows like from what I've played.
She's walking a little bit like Jill Valentine.
Yeah, it really hard. Like looking at the director of this game, it kind of harkens back to Resident Evil 7 in multiple ways. The director of Resident Evil Requiem is Koshi Nakanishi. Again, he directed Resident Evil 7, which was the first time the series went into first person proper, I guess, on console. We won't count Dead Aim or stuff like that, or Gaiden. But apart from that, that was a game that really did a soft reboot of the franchises, making it feel more.
They need to go into the future. Dante as an old man.
It kind of brought the fear back to Resident Evil. It's something that we kind of lost a little bit with the original Resident Evil 4, and then RE5 straight up threw it out the window. So it was nice, and 6 is a lot. But 7 really brought the franchise back to its horror roots, setting it in a rural, like, Georgia.
Yeah, but it was different. RE7 was different.
Yeah, directly inspired by stuff like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'm very curious to see
no,
what
it wasn't.
With Resident Evil 9. But
Resident Evil 7 was nothing like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
She's a character, the daughter
of
a character from a spin-off title on the PS2, Resident Evil Outbreak. Like, I love that Capcom is willing to get.
I love it when people just blurt out stuff.
How they are bringing back all of the connected.
Maybe he saw something that I didn't see, but Resident Evil 7 was nothing like no Chainsaw Massacre.
Your Leon S. Kennedy, your
I didn't see
Redfield,
any of that.
Your Claire Redfield.
I think it makes it more interesting because you could have too many badasses in these things, and I think I mean, again, I mentioned Silent Hill. I think part of the beauty of Silent Hill was always it was just some guy stumbling into something.
Oh, and did you know they're remaking Silent Hill, the first game?
Character to kind of superhero status allows you to kind of play around with the horror, and you can make more mundane things.
And hopefully the
Because when your
team,
character
I
is
think
badass,
Bloober
you
team
have to
is
escalate the threat.
Whereas
I mean, she's a data analyst.
heading the
like
project, so
there's
I'm
tension
hoping
in
they
something
improve on what they did with Silent Hill 2
big at it, right? And I think this actually allows them to kind of bring it down and because it's the same problem with superhero movies, right? Where you have to keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and just to the point where it gets ridiculous. And I think by bringing it back,
Mega Man,
to make the whole
I mean, that was part of the survey.
Again,
When Capcom put out their surveys, they was like, "Hey, what games new games that you guys may want?
You've touched on
you
a lot more
know,
of the horror
staple
stuff,
titles,
first person versus third person,
classic titles, and a lot of people threw in Mega Man.
Being all in on the horror.
I would like to see a Mega Man.
Push pull because you get rescued by
A new
Chris
Mega Man
Redfield
game.
at the end of the game. It was like, okay, this isn't a reboot of the franchise. We're back to normal Resident Evil people and turns. And
Yeah, this is.
So
this is not a reboot. I don't see this game as that. I see it as a continuation of the series.
Yeah, so a lot of
We're
that
just
was
taking
new
it
for
back
me,
to
right? So I got a little
Raccoon City.
But the stuff about 30 years later.
Alyssa Ashcroft, she's her racist mother.
Even a eulogy for
She was an
characters
outbreak.
you might know.
It's just a
That's all new
continuation.
information
I
to me,
don't.
and that's
It's
got me really excited.
the only thing that I would love to see Resident Evil go back to is the zombies. That's what did it. The zombies, the dogs, the liquors.
At some point, we have to move on, and it seems like that's what they're
Mr.
doing
X,
while being respectful to
Nemesis.
the characters that paved the way before.
I think they steered too far away from what the magic of Resident Evil. But I do give Resident Evil 7 its flowers. It was a good game, a different take,
Leon
a different
would be
direction.
50-some years old if he survived.
The fear was there.
Right,
The story was good.
So let's place this
And then
in
Resident
an
Evil
actual
8
time.
was
Right.
like,
When
what
was
is this?
30
To
years
me,
after the
a lot of
bomb
people
was
enjoyed
actually-
Resident Evil. Well, to me, I didn't enjoy Resident Evil 8 as much as I did Resident Evil 7.
1999?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 8 was more like
So
a
what they're doing is they're actually
Castlevania type
pulling the franchise
of
so that
vibe.
it's
I'm like, man, you got
or
werewolves
even
and
or slightly in the future, but
you got
they've been
the
kind of
lady,
playing around with a
Lady
timeline that
D
is
as
increasingly in the
freaking
past,
Dracula.
right?
That's pretty much
Dragging
what
it
she
forward.
personified.
I mean, I would imagine
And then you have the other
contemporize the technology a little bit.
freaking
Well, that hasn't stopped them before.
It was confirmed 1998.
bosses. I'm
was
like,
the
this
Raccoon
is
City
Castlevania,
destruction,
dude. What is
so
this?
this would bring it
2028.
2028.
So I'm
near
excited that they
future,
kind of said,
and,
hey, you know what?
putting
Let's
this in
take
the
it back.
context of what we've seen with
So
the,
I'm sure this is going to get a
Resident
lot
Evil
of
7
Resident Evil
and
fans
duology there.
even more excited
we got
once
a
they
little
play the
glimpse
game.
Of, our main
And I
character's
really hope
daughter.
this is
We got
not
flash forward of her
a
even
freaking
further into the future. So
cinematic
this
focused
looks like it
game.
takes place even before
You know,
that, if my
I don't want to
calculations
sit
are
here and
correct.
watch a freaking movie. I want to
Ethan
actually.
Winter's daughter, and I cannot recall her name in this moment, but she is a
I
psychic.
hope there's a lot of
medium,
gameplay.
Rosemary Wing.
The Resident Evil 2 remake,
Yes, that's correct.
the Resident
So
Evil
I'm
3
curious to see
remake
if
was
that's
just
still in
awesome.
contention with
Both of those
what we're
games were
seeing here
just
with Requiem, because
wow.
her DLC,
Perfect.
in my opinion, wasn't
In my
that
opinion.
fun to play. But I did appreciate that it brought a more supernatural touch to Resident Evil. One thing that always stands out about Resident Evil is like, Nick, what are you talking about? Zombies are supernatural as heck. Well, it's all science experiments gone wrong, really. There's never
Right.
any.
It wasn't really any kind of sort of more magical. I mean, they.
Notice they're only talking about Resident Evil right now.
But it was fundamentally. It was
They're not
like
talking about
limitations,
Sagat.
and that was what
They're
was
not talking about
driving
Street
things.
Fighter.
It was like
No one's playing
monster
Monster
stuff
Hunter.
by something that was
Pragmata is never going to come out.
maybe this is an opportunity for
They're going to
them
delay that game,
Yeah,
and then they're going to like, you know what, we're just going to scrap it all together.
Yeah, and
I don't know if they showed anything else in this
because
show.
in addition to confronting
in the
the
spotlight,
Leon
so-
rumors head on, they also said this is a single player experience. Is this an open world Resident Evil game? Is it semi-open world of what we saw with something like RE4 Remake, where it's just extremely large hubs with optional objectives that you can hit throughout? Like,
I mean, you
what
played
are you
it.
hoping to see?
Any hint of that?
Yeah, no, so the portion I played felt very much like the house portion in Resident Evil 7. You know, a very like self-contained.
Now looking at it,
it's very, you know, it's so it's set in Raccoon City, which means they have the same architect everywhere, which means I think this
the actual vibe of it, yeah, Resident Evil 7.
But it was definitely.
It looks like Resident Evil 7.
Because it was like a nurse's station, so it could have either been.
It looks nothing like Resident Evil
8. There are random, you know, classic Gothic architecture elements in this hotel, hospital place, per you know Raccoon City design, but. No, very self-contained, very like narrow hallways. No.
If we can get the original creator from Resident Evil back.
But again, it was just like 1 30-minute slice. Yeah, snippet. So who's to say for the full thing?
You know, I touched a little bit earlier that Resident Evil 7 was very directly inspired by stuff like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, it's not. I don't see how you got
genres of horror. You got your supernatural.
Okay, to each their own. To each their own.
Baby. You got the body modification horror in the underground laboratory, as well as your Resident Evil 4 homages with the game's opening chapter. What do we think? Is there anything that we can glean from what we've seen so far? We've seen FBI,
we haven't seen anything.
FBI, we've seen a bombed out Raccoon City.
We didn't see any monsters though, right?
No monsters, but you actually talked about that in your.
We haven't seen much at all.
Barbarian-inspired monster.
Yeah, there was no monster in today's show, but I did play the demo that I played did include a monster, and it's one of those large stalkery type monsters that Resident Evil is known
Another
for.
Mr. X.
Another Mr. X, but this one is. It reminded me very much of the monster in Barbarian. You know, it was not. I don't think it was a tyrant. You know, some people who've seen her and played the demo also have kind of likened her to Lisa.
That's exactly what I was about to bring up. I was like, what's Lisa up to these days? If this is revisiting Raccoon City, what got?
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut that out the stream.
I mean, I can't confirm whether or not it is Lisa, but it's definitely like of that mold, right? Definitely not a Mr.
Yo, we
X
caught you
or
in the
Nemesis,
camera.
Closer to a Lisa. They're also really huge and just, I don't know, just reminds me of the main monster from Barbarian, a movie that I love.
Yo, what's up?
Who's director
Jose.
making the next Resident Evil movie, which is super fun.
So you heard it here first. The enemy of the next Resident Evil game is Airbnb. Oh, real quick, we need to take a quick break, but stick around because there's more to unpack from Capcom. The Capcom Spotlight right here on IGN Summer of Gaming.
All right, so I don't really think we need to
IGN
even.
Summer of Gaming is presented by FX's.
I don't think we even need to really watch any more of this. I don't really have any interest in Street Fighter or Monster Hunter or anything else that they're going to be talking about. Just Resident Evil. I'm going to see if I have access to the Capcom portal. I should. I remember signing up for it. And see what extra that we can get from that. So I know, Jose, that's not your game. To Thinker, you're busy and you have other games that's on your mind right now if you can get back to. So if you guys have time, if you want to chit chat, I think Thinker asked you a question, Jose. What do you do? What do you do? Put the cheese back on the burger. Yes, the cheese. He said put the cheese back on the burger, so he took the cheese off the burger. Now it's back. Just put it back. All right, man. Let's see what the talk is about, man. Because that was very short for Resident Evil. I thought it was gonna be more. Man, did he look terrible if that photo's true? Hey, Thinker, if you're still here, you see this guy here? That's my cousin. He did a video here in Baltimore. And actually, I was there when they shot the video. I'm surprised that video is still here on YouTube. That's crazy. Yes, Death Stranding 2 is out. I didn't even know it was out. So I have other games that I'm still playing. I'm still playing Shadows right now, and I don't know if I don't even know what the ending is in Shadows at all. I've beaten everybody in the big circle. So now I'm playing like side quests that opens up, other quests on the map. So since you have already beaten Shadows, I'll just share with you. I got to the guy to the final guy. Well, I'm thinking it's the final guy. I walked up to him, and then he was pretty much begging for his life. He was like, "Please don't kill me," and I'll share this with you. Whatever he shared, he pretty much told me that there was someone else that I needed to be looking for, that it wasn't him, and then he gave me the box with whatever item that was in the box or whatever. And then I took the box back to a cave. There was like a rock formation in the ground. I used the blade on my hand for like the switch or whatever. That didn't work. She was trying to push the rock. That didn't work, and then she went into it, her trance or whatever. I forgot how the freaking cave even opened. And then she took the box down in the cave, and then the other guy came, and blah 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 blah. So I don't even know if I've beaten the game, or if there's more to the game that I need to play. He said, yeah, that's the main story bad guy. The real bad guys is someone else. Yes, so don't tell me. I'm still working the game. I'm like, man, have I beaten the game? Like what else? What more do I have to do? So I just started playing some of the side quests, and it started to open up more side quests that pretty much ties into the story. It just made sense. So I was like, okay, I'll just finish all the side quests so I can get the full experience of it. But I'm pretty much almost done with the side quests. So I just want to put that game to bed. Yes, I am losing some life essence playing the game, and I want to get into something else. Again, I have started playing Indiana Jones. I only got as far as I don't know if is he in the house, in the mansion, or whatever it is. Well, it starts off where you're going through the the thinking, when you're going through the freaking the forest or whatever, and then you get to the freaking cave, and you pick up the golden, not the golden thing, but you get the bag of sand. I guess he picks up the bag of sand, or puts sand in the bag or whatever at the beginning of the cave, and then he goes in the cave with the guy. I think one guy tried to kill him or something. I forgot what happened there. It's been a minute since I played it. And then they get to the end. He put the golden thing on the freaking pedestal or whatever. Replaced it with the sandbag, just like the movies, man. Just like in the movie. And then the freaking guy takes off with the statue or whatever, and then he go chasing after him. I'm like, I think that's as far as I got. And then I started playing, what's that game name? Midnight? It was called Midnight something. Because there's just so many games that I want to get to I haven't gotten to. Let's see. I'm gonna try and see if I can. If you guys even care, man. I'm gonna go to Capcom. I think it's just Resident Evil. It's So it's Resident Evil. And you just go into the portal site. And Jose, I'm gonna see if I could get sponsored with Streamlabs to try to throw anything and everything at this channel as much as I can. All right, it's asking me to log in. I don't remember. I have no clue. I haven't been on here in so long. All right, I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, you back in? I'm sitting here talking, man. I don't see you. Hey, if you gotta go, man, go ahead and go. Take care of yourself, man. And if anything comes up for tomorrow, I'll definitely let you know. I know you gotta work tomorrow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna figure that piece out at another time. It's not giving me what I need. I have no clue what my password is. It doesn't even send me a link. Hmm. All right, let's check and see if we get in. Click the link.
Israeli troops. 410 killed this month, according to the UN. Doctors here say 14-year-old Fahad was killed while trying to collect food. The boy was brought back to Nasser Hospital along with the empty bag he'd hoped to fill and take back to his family. And while our team was filming, this boy was brought in. His name is Jihad. His family says he was shot by Israeli forces while collecting water.
That's crazy, isn't it?
His name is Jihad.
So we're suspecting a spinal cord injury. The doctors say he has a bullet by his spine. They worry he may never walk again. The Israeli military says it does not fire on civilians at those aid sites, but has acknowledged that soldiers have targeted individuals who approach them, appear threatening, or are in unauthorized areas. Tom?
Our thanks to Richard Engel and her teams in Gaza for that one. Now to our series back here at home, the cost of denial and the role of the adjuster. The person who helps determine how much you should be reimbursed by insurance when your home is damaged. But for those hit by the Los Angeles fires, many are asking why their adjuster keeps changing. Liz Kreutz has our story.
It's a house frozen in time. Gingerbread houses left on the kitchen table. A calendar still set to January. Makes me sad. Stephanie Newport's Altadena home hasn't changed since January 7th, the day she evacuated from the Eaton fire, which you can see here burning through part of the house, causing significant smoke damage, leaving her stuck in what she describes as an insurance nightmare.
Sorry, I mean, my community is pretty much gone. I am very grateful that the house is still there. However, from an insurance standpoint, I think it would have been easier if it had burned.
Newport's living room covered in layers of toxic ash and debris. We've been to a lot of smoke damaged homes since the fires. This is, without a doubt, the worst that we've seen.
Oh my. Alright, let's see if we can get in, man. This is.
Her adjuster, the person responsible for managing her claim, keeps changing. In 5 months, she's been assigned not one, not two,
Why did
but 7 adjusters.
Why did it change?
To get passed around and passed around.
Let's see.
It's extremely frustrating.
Let's do this. Resident Evil.
NBC News also spoke to 5 other State Farm policyholders impacted by the LA fires who describe a similar pattern. Just this month, California's Department of Insurance announced an investigation into State Farm's handling of fire-related claims.
Alright, man. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.
Reassignment of multiple adjusters with little continuity.
If you're in tomorrow, I'll see you.
You think they're intentionally trying to stall?
It feels that way.
Newport says once an adjuster is taken off her claim, they completely disappear.
Or if you were responding to Jose, my bad.
To see if we can find out why he was taken off. It seems like this is a defunct extension now. We're just getting kind of put in circles through automated voice message systems. Not really able to get in touch with this guy. State Farm declined to comment directly on Newport's case, citing customer privacy, but said in a statement to NBC News it has paid out more than $4.15 billion in response to the
Alright, so Resident Evil Portal. Why do they have like 4 of these set up here?
members assist with a customer's claim. In response to the state's investigation, the insurer says it is cooperating, and at a review will find that thousands of customers are very satisfied.
Everything felt like a fight.
So far, Newport says State Farm has sent her about $140,000 to fix her home, but an outside adjuster she hired to help with her claim says it would cost more
Do
than
I have to log in?
based in part on testing that recommended the home be taken down to the studs. Of the 7 adjusters, she feels only one has given her
Come on, man. Come on.
Don't let them, just keep pushing because they're hoping you're going to give up. But I'm not giving up.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna take me to the main screen again. So.
just days after NBC News reached out to State Farm asking about her claim that she was contacted by the insurer and they've offered to give her an additional $54,000 more to pay for her pool and fix it, and also to conduct their own testing of her home, which is something she had been asking for months, Tom.
All right, getting some results. We thank you for that, Liz. In 60 seconds, it's not a bird or a plane, but a mysterious fireball. Did you see this? Shooting across the sky and seen across the southeast. What we know.
Alright, so I'm gonna assume that there's a lot of people trying to log into this portal to extract information, to see what's going on, to listen. There it is. That's probably what's happening right now. And I know people are extracting information so that they can make content or be the first to make content. All right, so that's gonna do it for this stream here. Appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, and hopefully we can come up with something else to talk about. Something interesting, news, reactions, gaming talks, or whatever. If you guys just want to just get on here and talk about anything and everything, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll meet you back here. Hopefully the burger is complete. You know, the burger and the cheese. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. I'll talk to you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Peace.